What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Johnny Nelson, Tyson Fury, and Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. The former world champion, Johnny Nelson, questions if Tyson Fury believes that he can beat Usyk. Of course, we know the fight hasn't been made, and on Seconds Out recently, the Sheffield man doubted Fury's claim that there is no one out there to fight him. He says, I think he beats Usyk, but it sounds like Tyson Fury doesn't believe he can beat Usyk. So all the demands, all the negotiating, all the hustling might be to squeeze out as much as he possibly can financially, and I rate that. But I'm not going to be one of these fools who blows smoke up his ass. I see right through it. You can fight and you deserve the lion's share, but I'm not buying all this bullshit that there is nobody out there to fight you. And those are the words of Johnny Nelson. And let me counterpunch. I don't buy into it either, Johnny. I never really did. You know, there's always somebody to fight, I think. Tyson Fury reaching out to these guys like Anthony Joshua, and, you know, he went back to Usyk after, you know, the failed negotiations. And I think it may be something like Johnny Nelson thinks. See, if that fight was so easy to be made, or if he felt that he can beat Usyk that easily and look good doing it, I think that fight would have been done. And I think Tyson Fury knows exactly who he's dealing with. He's dealing with a guy that fails to lose, that fails to fold. He is the resistance. He's not going to be one of those guys that's going to be easy and it's going to make Tyson Fury look rather beatable or average at best. Okay. See, when you see these guys and they get in there with these fighters and it makes them look, they go in there and beat a guy and it makes that guy that was pretty good, and then he makes that pretty good guy look ordinary. Tyson won't have that luxury in this fight, and I think he knows that. See, going back on memory lane, the toughest fight Tyson Fury ever had was coming over here to the American shores. He fought Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham was the same height. He was the same weight. He was also a slick southpaw that could box very well. But I have another video on this, but that guy showed you that he couldn't keep up what he started. Usyk won't be that person. See, if Steve Cunningham was able to do what he did with Tyson Fury throughout and consistently keep that pace, he probably would have stopped Tyson Fury, or let alone beat him, gave him his first L when he had no home team advantage or any of that because he was over here in the USA. See, he could have pulled an Anthony Joshua before Anthony Joshua pulled an Anthony Joshua, right? And I think he knows that. I think he knows that he needs to make some more money. That's why he took the Derek Chisora fight. That's why he took the Dillian Whyte fight. See, the Dillian Whyte fight was a mandatory for a guy that deserved his shot. But Tyson Fury took that fight because he knew that he wanted a tune-up in between negotiating with Usyk, right? He wanted something to fill in the gaps. So when he beat Dillian Whyte, he retired after that fight. Then later on in the year, Joshua loses to Oleksandr Usyk. Then he calls Usyk out. He says he has a hand injury or an elbow injury or whatever. He said that. Okay, his father just tried to lie for him recently and say that, hey, yeah, well, they were banking on him having a rumored elbow injury. It wasn't rumored if Tyson Fury said it. He either said it if he was either true or it was untrue. Okay, but he did say it. So they were trying to give that man time to get himself together, right? That was the whole ploy. He needed time to heal. So this whole 6 months have went by. Tyson still ain't found a fight, you know? And Usyk had no choice but to move on because he has bigger, or should, I can't say bigger fish to fry, but he had other fish to shake and bake and then fry, like Daniel Dubois. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing as well. And I don't really think 100% Tyson Fury feels he can beat him. He won't ever admit that to people, but he will admit that he's a not slimy, sneaky, tricky, ugly little gap tooth bastard. I was going to say gappy tooth, but didn't come out fast enough. And I know he knows that Oleksandr Usyk is a guy that can give him trouble. You know, and they're trying their best now to change back that table that's turned on them by default. Because by default, people stopped liking Tyson Fury when Oleksandr Usyk agreed to that very, very low ball offer. Okay? And why would you even want to fight in the UK if you know that they give more money in Saudi Arabia? I mean, why would you even... that shouldn't even be an issue. If you think it was about money, you should took the Saudi money. You know what I mean? So you had to ask for too much money. You had to pull an Andy Ruiz in retrospect with the Saudis, like you claim Andy did with you. He should have went that route. Like I told you guys back in, I believe it was January, I told you guys once that deal fell apart in Saudi Arabia, I told you that fight wouldn't happen because I knew there was going to be something because I knew that Team Usyk wasn't taking anything at the time less than 50%. Now, they could have stood on it just for moral obligations because they fought and beat Anthony Joshua twice, and Oleksandr Usyk made about 40 million pounds in the rematch with Anthony Joshua. And yeah, he's fought in 2 different countries, okay, at this point, and he's beaten the cash cow. So yes, he deserves something, you know, and I think it may be more than money. So Johnny might be onto something. You know what I mean? He may not believe that he can fight him. So it doesn't matter what Johnny Martin or Nelson thinks. I think what happens, what's important is what Tyson Fury thinks. Tyson Fury should understand that, you know, hey, if I can't fight this guy, that's maybe the main reason, people, the fight's not got made. Derek Chisora was made quickly. Dillian White, yeah, he put up a fuss for a while, but it was still made and done. But Tyson Fury, that wasn't Tyson Fury's fault. That was Dillian White, because Dillian White tends to get difficult with negotiations because he knows more than the average bear about how things work. And when he sees things that are going against him, he wants to lash out. He is the resistance type of fellow. You know, you can't fault him for that. But nonetheless, Tyson Fury made that fight happen. These Joshua fights, these Usyk fights are not happening because maybe, just maybe, deep down inside, maybe not even that deep, Tyson Fury knows that I could get beat. Bars. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Johnny Nelson stating that maybe Tyson Fury believes that he can't beat Oleksandr Usyk, and that may be the reason for these type of fights not happening. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!